All right, this is Algebra 2, Lesson 91 on page 377. To date, we've only dealt with linear equalities. Today, we're going to deal with linear inequalities. All right, so let's just talk about, so instead of y equals mx plus b, we're going to have y maybe greater than mx plus b. We're going to have y greater than or equal to mx plus b. We're going to have y less than mx plus b, y less than or equal to mx plus b. That's our four options for inequalities. All right? Now let's think about our options. We're going to have a system of equations. And so I have two variables. I'm always going to have two equations, right? Our options are they intersect at one point, right? Got it? Or they're the exact same line. You remember that? Or they are parallel. All right, we're going to call this L and M. L and M are the same. We'll call this P and H. All right. All right, let's say for L, the equation is y greater than or equal to negative 2x plus 3, because the slope's negative, right? When I have greater than or equal to, I'm going to have a solid line, because that equality tells me that every point on the line satisfies that equality, but the greater than says every y value above it satisfies that inequality. So if I were to shade the area in for this equation, it would be from the line L up. Greater than goes up. All right? Now, let's suppose that M was y is less than 1, let's just make it 3. It looks like a steeper slope than that. Less than 3x minus 4. Less than means there's no point on that line that satisfies it, because it cannot be equal to the value of y. So when we have less than, we're going to indicate that by a hyphenated line. We will not draw a solid line when the inequality is just less than or greater than, okay? Hyphenated line when you don't have an equality. If greater than is above the line, then less than is going to be below the line. So we're going to go down on the y-axis. Here is everything below that line. So then you may ask, well, which region satisfies both of those? Which region on the Cartesian coordinate system is both greater than that line and less than this line? What's the one that they both cover? It would be this region right here. Make sense? So when we have intersecting lines, how many regions do we have? We have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sense? This region satisfies neither of those equations, right? This region is neither greater than or equal to that or less than or equal to this. This region only satisfies this equation. You see that? this region only satisfies this equation. This is the only region that satisfies both. And that's what we're graphing in this lesson. Okay, well, what if they're the same line? Well, I don't think you'll ever have one that is the same line, but it would have to be the same equation, right? And both would have to be greater than, or both would have to be less than. So I don't think this is an option, but what do we call these equations? They're both
independent, or dependent.
They're dependent
Consistent.
and consistent. These are, this set is independent and consistent. All right, so we're not going to have any that are dependent and consistent, but this one is independent and inconsistent. All right, so parallel lines, how are their slopes related?
Their slopes are the same.
Their slopes are the same. Okay, now how many regions do I have when the lines are parallel? I have 3. When they intersect at one point, I have 4 regions. Do you see the 4 regions? When they're parallel, I have 3 regions. 1, 2, 3. Do you see that? All right, so we're going to look at a couple of different examples for parallel lines. All right, let's suppose P is y greater than or equal to, they're both positive slopes, 2x plus 5, and H is y greater than or equal to 2x plus 3. Remember, parallel lines, same slope, different y-intercept. All right, if this is the case, then I should have written them in different colors. All right, this one will be indicated by the green marker. All right. Which regions satisfies this equation? 1, 2, or 3, or any combination of them? Y greater than or equal to? Y greater than or equal to?
Region 2.
Is region 2 greater than the line? Region 1. All right, so only 1. So that would be this region. All right?
Wait, how'd you know that?
All right.
But
let me
for
just
that greater one, you went the other way.
Okay, you're going up on the y-axis. So you always go up on the y-axis. Okay, we're going to really graph some. I need to do a Cartesian coordinate system. All right, so this one would look like, I don't know, something like this. This would be 3, -4, something like this. You're going up on the y-axis, or you're going down on the y-axis. I'll number them. 2 and 3 for line M go down. You're going down. I'm only looking at that line. You're going down on the y-axis.
What is 2 and 3?
Did everybody see that? Okay, these parallel lines, let's actually draw them on Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, I'm going to graph these. What do we call this one? This is PH. All right, it's going to be at 5, 3, 4, 5, and it's going to go up to, as it runs, 1, gonna be a solid line. This is gonna intersect at 3. It's gonna go up 2 as it runs 1. It's gonna be a solid line. All right, this is H. This is P. Got it? All right, greater than goes up the y-axis. So we have these areas. We have region 1, region 2 between the lines, region 3 below. Got it? Greater than goes up. All right, so for this line, that's this line, every region on and above this line satisfies it. So it's region 1. Everybody see that? All right, greater than or equal to the second line, what regions does it include? 2 and 1. Do you see that? So this includes 1 and 2. So it's every region above here. Which region satisfies both of them?
1.
Only 1. Only region 1. So that is what I would darken in. All right, so I'm just going to draw some lines with the slopes and show you which regions would be greater than or less than, okay? All right, so what's the slope of this line? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Okay, this is a positive slope. This section is going to be greater than, above it. This section is going to be less than. On the line is equal. You got it? All right, what about if I have a line this way? The slope is negative slope. This side is greater than, because it goes up. This side is now less than. All right, what if I have a vertical line? What's that equation?
1. And 5.
What's that equation?
Y equals.
Not y equals x. So it could be x greater than 2, greater than or equal to 2, or it could be x less than or equal to 2. So greater than would be on this side, because x gets bigger on that side. Less than would be on that side. All right, what if I had a line that looked like this? Then it's y, right? So it's either going to be y greater than or equal to 3, it's going to be above it. Y less than or equal to 3 will be below it. You got it? Make sense? All right, let's work example 1 on the bottom of page 379.
I don't understand this part.
Okay, look at the equations. It says graph the solution. Y less than 1/2 x plus 2 and y greater than or equal to negative x minus 3. When I don't have equal, what do I know about the line? For this one, the line is going to be hyphenated, right? Hyphenated. It's not going to be a solid line, because there's not a point on the line that satisfies that inequality. This line is going to be solid to indicate that every point on the line satisfies the inequality.
So if it's equal to,
If it's also equal to, it's going to be solid. If it's not, it's going to be hyphenated.
So wait, we're putting these on
Cartesian coordinate system, yes. In my mind, I'm going to do a hyphenated line there. Less than is going to be below the line. So it's going to be hyphenated, and the region is going to be below the line. All right, so my y-intercept is 2. I rise 1 as I run 2. I rise 1 as I run 2. So now I'm going to do my hyphenated line. All right, and it's below the line. So I always do arrows to tell me. All right, it's going to be the region below the lines. All those regions below the line satisfy that inequality. My arrows are pointing down below the line.
Wait, so negative?
That's just this one. Now we'll graph this one. My y-intercept is?
Wait, but where's the negative for the other one? How'd you know to start?
Okay,
If it crossed,
this is my y-intercept.
right, but it crossed at 1/2, crossed x at 1/2, I thought.
No, that's my slope. I rise 1 as I run 2. It crosses the y-axis at 2. Right? We start here, we graph a slope. It's been a long time since we've graphed lines, huh? Start with our y-intercept, -3. We graph our slope. I'm falling 1 as I'm running 1. I'm going to go back the other direction too. This one's going to be a solid line. It's every region above the line. All right, now let's number the regions and talk about them. We'll call this region 1, region 2, region 3, region 4. All right, you see the 4 different regions? All right, region 1, what does it satisfy?
The second.
Only the second equation, not the first one. Do you see that? Region 2, which one does it satisfy? Both of them. So that's the region I'm going to highlight, shade.
So we're gonna, like on a test, we're gonna be shading.
Shading, yeah. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Wait, so, how do you know which one satisfies both? Oh, because the arrows.
The arrows. Region 3 satisfies which one? Only the first one. And region 4, neither. Right? All right, let's do another one. Are you sort of getting this a little bit? Hopefully a lot. Because eventually we're going to have not linear equations, but we'll have circles, lines, maybe parabolas. Probably not.
When's the next test? Sorry,
I think it's a week. Is it a week away or 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. All right, look at example 2. We have y greater than x minus 2 greater than. I'm telling myself it's a hyphenated line and I'm shading above it, right? Hyphenated line, shading above it. Y less than or equal to x plus 1. It's a solid line. I'm going below it. Good job. All right. All right, so I start at my y-intercept. My slope is 1. I'm going up 1, running 1. Up 1, running 1. It's going to be a hyphenated line. It's greater than, so I'm thinking above it. everything above the line. The arrows help me. Hopefully they'll help you. Now we're going to intercept the y-axis at 1, and we're going to rise 1 and run 1. Rise 1 and run 1. Rise 1, run 1. And this one's going to be a solid line. But they are parallel because they have the same slope, but it's less than, right? They don't look very parallel, but you know.
Wait, can you explain? So I get that it's above, I mean, it's dashed if there's a,
Not
Now you can do it, and then it's
Solid
if it is equal to. How do you know if it's above or below?
Yeah, I still don't get that.
greater than is above, less than is below. Greater than is above, less than is below. Okay, so what region is the only region that satisfies this one? It's only in between.
So 2.
So what we've called 2, yeah. That's the only region that satisfies them both.